Do you want to save your time and still send timely and perfectly crafted emails for every birthday and every report follow-up? Well, you can easily do this with the help of Python. In this video, I'll show you how you can use Python to schedule emails so that they are automatically sent to a particular recipient at the exact time. Today, we'll create 6 real-world automations, such as daily reports, birthday wishes, invoice reminders, event alerts, client follow-ups, and marketing campaign emails. Today, we'll learn how you can schedule and automatically send emails through Python for any scenario. In this video, we'll cover the need for this project. After that, we'll see how we can set up our environment, how we can implement the automation, and test real-world cases. So, let's get started. First of all, let's understand why this particular project is needed. There are times when you need to send a bulk of emails. You have to send a lot of emails all at once, and that can be a really tiring task. With the help of this automation, you can save your time, reduce errors, and easily, using Excel or CSV files, you can schedule and send a large number of emails to many people at once, without any manual checking and without wasting time. Now let's set up our tools and environment. So here, to perform this particular automation, you'll need a few tools, and I'll mention a few things that will be helpful for you. First, your particular system should have Python installed, whether it's directly on your system or through a compiler that works with Python, like VS Code, Spider, or any other Python compiler. But make sure it's an offline compiler. After that, you'll need Gmail with your app password, where two-factor authentication is enabled and you can generate an app password. So if I move to my email, you can simply go to Security here and create an app password from there. Science, I have created one. You can see it here in my activity. You need to create an app password so that we can use it as a password. So, log into your email using this instead of your actual email password that's related to your email to maintain the security of your system. After that, you'll need some libraries like pandas, datetime, schedule, and SMTP. If these aren't installed on your system, you need to install them. And the simple syntax for that is pip install pandas, pip install schedule for Windows, or I'll show you this once in the compiler. So first, we will open our file. Here, I will open the folder. So you need a folder where you keep your Python script and all the files you require, like your CSV and Excel files for different scenarios that we're going to discuss today or that you'll be using for automation purposes. Here, I will go to my desktop, and inside the Python code folder, I have all my files, so I am opening it. And when I opened the folder, you can see all my files inside it, like the Python script and all the CSV plus Excel files. So here, I have placed 2 Excel files and 2 CSV files. We are going to discuss 6 cases. Since we are going to use 3 cases, and we can use either CSV or Excel files, I have used both types of files so that you can see how we can use them. So here, if I just run this, I'll open my compiler and you need to use this syntax, which is pip install pandas for Windows. After that, if you are using a Mac, then use pip 3 install pandas for Mac. In this way, you can install your particular files on your Mac or Windows. So let's look at the code, and we'll also discuss its case scenario together. And at the end of the case scenario, we'll also run this program to see how it works, to check if it is working fine for the function or not. So let's move back, and before starting the code, I'm showing you my Gmail, which currently has an empty sent folder. Here, whatever emails we automate and send, you'll be able to clearly see them in the sent folder to check if the program is working fine or not. Here you can see, first we'll import some libraries, like pandas to read CSV and Excel files. Then we'll use schedule to schedule our messages for a particular time, and also time and date time, because in the scenarios we'll be using, we'll need both time and date time. After that, we are importing the SMTP module, which basically helps us connect to the Gmail server. And lastly, we are taking email message from the email module to compile each message. So, let's discuss the first scenario, which is sending a daily report to the manager. Basically, this is the kind of task you have to do every day. If you are working in an organization, you have to share a report of your work with your manager every day. Normally, this task takes about 10 to 15 minutes at the start of the day or at the end of the day. So here, we will automate this task so that the 10 to 15 minutes you spend on it daily can be used more efficiently. Here, we'll simply define a function, send report, and then we'll configure it for one person. Here, we'll look at other scenarios where we'll use Excel files. But for this particular scenario, we're using just one recipient. This particular case is different. You can configure your email. We're providing our sender email, which is my own email, then the send password, which is my app password. After that, the recipient email, which is a dummy email in my scenario. You need to enter the email of the person you want to share this particular report with. Next is the content of this email. So the subject is daily report, and the body is whatever you want to write or define. And lastly, create the email. So how will the email be created? We're taking a message variable in which we're putting the email message in from the sender, then email, subject, and content. We're adding all these things together. After that, we'll use the try and accept method so that we can connect our file to the SMTP server. And if any errors come up, we can figure them out and solve them. For example, here we're using smtp.gmail.com. Then we're using port number 465. We're defining the login with the sender's email and sender's password, then adding our message as a send message. If it's delivered successfully, we'll get a conclusion, daily report email sent successfully. If not, an exception will occur stating that it has failed. So this is the schedule for 8:30. Here, this particular syntax is to schedule every day at this time. And what you need to do is send this report. But we can't check it right now because it's not going to be 8:30 yet. But if we call the function directly, we can check it. So that's what we'll do. So here too, there are two methods for that. Either you use the schedule method, which is schedule every 1 minute. We can check every minute whether the file has been sent or not. Second is directly calling the function, which is send_report. So we'll use that. If I uncomment this and then run it, you can simply see that the program doesn't give any error. And if we wait for 2 more minutes or a few more seconds, we'll be able to see whether our particular function is running properly or not. And it is working fine because we got the output, daily report sent successfully. Now if I check my email, you can also see here in the sent folder, where there were no messages before, this message has been sent. The subject is daily report, and this is the content that we had entered. So exactly, and if you look here, it has been sent just 0 minutes ago. So in this way, our particular scenario is working. Now we will move on to our second scenario. Before that, I am putting this into comments. The reason being, when we run the next scenario, this particular thing doesn't run again and again. But if you want to run all the emails at once, then you just need to leave this on schedule and you don't need to comment anything out. Now, first of all, after this, for the 5 scenarios we're going to use, we'll either use a CSV file or an Excel file. So in that scenario, we'll need to create a specific sender function and a send email helper function so that we can directly link and configure our particular email. Like in the first scenario, we only had to send it to one recipient, so we configured the email within the same function. But next, in that, we have to use an Excel file for everyone. So here, to save time and make it more efficient, we'll create a single helper function for sending emails, which I've made here, where you define your send email with recipient, subject, and body, and again, the sender email and password. Then we defined the message and used try and accept here, so that if our email is sent, it prints this particular message, and if not, it shares the failed message with us. So moving further, our second scenario is a marketing campaign at peak time. So all marketing organizations know that there is a specific time when, if we send our emails or messages, they get more views and are more effective, which is ideally this 11th hour. So here, for that purpose, we are creating a function where we define our subject and provide the body. Then, after that, we are using a try and accept method, where we take our campaign list, which is an Excel file. Here you can see, this file is over here, which contains some entries, some emails. If I go into my main menu, if I go into the particular script, here all the rows are being iterated, and if they are successfully iterated, a message will appear, campaign sent to this email. If not, there can be 2 types of errors. Either there is some internal error, some error in the code, or our list was not found. We have put both of these under the accept block, and that will also be an error. It will also show us so that we can specifically solve it. Again, here we can use the schedule method and the same campaign, but for now, I will use send campaign. And if I run this program and we wait for 15 seconds, we will see whether this program is working or not. So here, our program has worked. The first email has been sent, but we are getting 2 confirmations for some reason. We have accepted 2 trials. The first confirmation is for the email and the second is for the campaign. So here, as our emails are being sent, we are getting confirmations accordingly. Now, if I move here and go to my sent folder, I can see that these particular emails have been sent to LS, to Bob, to Roll, and after that to David and. So the email has also been sent to David. And lastly, there will be one more, which we saw here. So all our emails are being automated easily. Moving further, now we will discuss our third scenario, which is client follow-up after 3 days. So basically, if you had a meeting with your client and on the 3rd day you need a follow-up, whether it's the 3rd, 4th, or any other day you need a follow-up, then for that particular thing, you can use this email. Can be created. So here, define check client follow-up, try method, load this file. Here we are using a CSV file, and if the file loads successfully, we are also printing a message for that so that we can track everything step by step. Where is the error occurring? Just in case any error comes up. After that, we check the necessary columns to see if we have the meeting date or not, if we have the email or not, and if not, then we are printing an error message after that. We are taking today's date and time, printing it, and then we are creating a loop so that we can iterate through all the meeting dates. In this particular scenario, we are using this formula as well, which subtracts the meeting date from today's date. If that equals 3, then we will send a follow-up email. If it doesn't, we are not going to send any follow-up email. So, for this scenario, I have printed all these things in the compiler. The reason being that maybe our file doesn't have any data where we can send a 3-day follow-up for any meeting today. So, for that, all these things will run in our compiler. When I run this particular function, you can check if the function is working fine or not, and maybe the email will be sent now. So here again, we schedule it for 9 a.m., and once more we get the same follow-up page. Here too, we've used the try and accept method, which checks whether the mail was sent successfully or not. And in accept, we handle file not found or any unexpected errors. And here we also use if else to check if 3 days have been completed or not. Let's run the program, and you can see that our CSV file has loaded easily. Today's date, meeting date with LS, no follow-up needed, since all the meetings here have already taken place and all the follow-ups have already been sent. We don't need to send any follow-ups today. But if we change the date in the file, then we can send a follow-up. So in this way, you are using functions as well as formulas, which makes it easy for you to automate your emails. It's all based on logic. So let's move on to our 4th scenario, which is the monthly invoice on the 1st. So here we are creating a function called sendInvoice. If the date and time is 1, which is today, then we will try to use a particular file from client CSV, which is this CSV file you can see here. We have this file, and there are 3 entries in it. After that, we are using try and accept, where we first try to get the file, and if the file is not found, we display an error message. Then we iterate through all the emails, and finally, we schedule this for 10 a.m. So if I run this, you can see here that the email is sent to LS, which is our first confirmation of sent emails. Then the invoice is sent to LS, then to Bob, and lastly, we have 3 entries. So let's wait for the 3rd one, which is to Charlie Lee. Here too, if you look, we have sent the invoice to Alice and Bob, and lastly to Charlie. This program, this function, is also working perfectly fine. Let's move to our next scenario, which is the event reminder 24 hours before. So here too, there's a case where maybe there isn't any event scheduled for tomorrow, so this email shouldn't go out today. But again, we have an error message here, so if it's giving us any error, if there's an issue in the function, then we take the errors. Here, the compiler will show us the errors. But if there is no issue, or if it's not sending any email, then simply there will be no extra response. If I show you here, we have a CSV file. Here, we have 2 entries, one for the 29th and one for the 30th, so I don't think any email will be sent. But if we just change the date, let's see if this works. So here we have 2 entries, which are Emily Turner and David Kim. Now if we go to our scheduled emails, here again we're using the same try and accept method to check whether the file was found or not. Then we're taking today's date, iterating through all the rows, and after that, we're creating an if method. Here, if subtracting today's date gives us 1, which means 1 day is left for the event, then the email will be sent. If he doesn't come, he won't go. Again, here I'll remove this, and this is scheduled for 7. So now I run the program, and the scheduler has started. We haven't added any extra comments here. Let's see if anything has been sent. Maybe I think the changes have not been made. But here, there isn't any event scheduled for tomorrow, or for any event. Exactly 1 day isn't left. That's why this program is not sending an email at the moment. But it's also not giving us any error, which means this particular line of code is working fine. So now we'll move on to our last particular scenario, which is the birthday email. If you want to send birthday emails, you can maintain your own files. Here, you can maintain the data for your employees' birthdays, clients' birthdays, or any other birthdays you need to send emails for. After that, we'll define a function called birthday_wishes in which we'll use try and accept to read the file birthday.xlsx, and we have this file right here. After that, we'll make sure that it's in the date and time format. because that's what we're using here, and that is month and date. After that, we are iterating through the dates of birth. And finally, if a particular date of birth matches today's date when we are sending the email. So let's check if somebody has a birthday today and we're running the function. This line means that our particular function is working fine with no errors. It's just that we don't have a birthday today, so no email was sent. Now let's move on and check our main scheduler loop. So after every particular scenario, there was a line. Scheduler started running pending tasks. So here we've set up a loop so that this function keeps running every minute, that is, every second whenever the time comes, whenever the scheduled time comes, which is 8 a.m., 11 a.m., 10 a.m., or any time. This particular scheduler will work and our email will be sent at that time. So this basically checks every minute for pending tasks, and whenever there is one, it sends the email. This is our main scheduler loop. So in this way, you can automate your tasks and try running all the functions to see how they work. And you can easily send everything on time through Excel files to your clients, your recipients, or anyone you want. So in this way, automation saves your time, helps you stay consistent, and also reduces your errors. In this video, we saw why we need this automation for our project. Then we set up our environment, implemented the automation, and finally ran all the test cases. Thanks for watching. If you liked this video, please share it, use it yourself, and if you have any questions or suggestions, drop them in the comments section and check out our YouTube channel, KnowHow Academy, for more such videos. Until then, happy coding!